Let's go, man. Let's roll. Let's roll. You ready or what? You told me you was ready.
I'm ready, man.
You ready? Let's go. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Outside the Pulse. It's your host here, Mr.Smith. With me, as always, my co-host, Keevin Thompson here. We come to you episode 7. Hope everything is good. You know, it's Sunday for us, so I'm going to say happy Sunday. Sunday's a great day. It's the Lord's Day. You know, Sunday's a relaxing day. It's an important day in that NFL world, too. You know, we got whoever win today go to the Super Bowl.
Hey. Bump the NFL. Like I was saying, I was on the grill today. I was whipping that thing up today again. Another day. I'm whipping it up in my suit too. You feel me? And I still come in here fresh. But more importantly, that man, Mr.Smith over there, he has like this delusion. Like, it's a delusion. You have a delusion because you say you say, oh, I'm this great, I'm better than, but nobody has ever seen it.
Nobody.
So somebody put it in the chat. Like, have you ever seen it? Have you ever tasted it? Have you ever witnessed it? Have you ever done anything? Because I put mine on display last week. Yeah, and I didn't even have to do that because some of y'all that are listening have tasted it, have seen it, have experienced it. Because it goes past just tasting and seeing. It's an experience. It's an experience when you sit down at a table that's going to get my food. It's an experience that you're going to remember. You're going to remember. Go ahead. Talk about your NFL. Let's go, man. Let's go. I just want to say that.
My mic working? Winner today go to the Super Bowl. It's an important day out there, but last week of January, first month of the year, so I hope, you know, those resolutions y'all set out forth, y'all been making progress on, man. Don't be afraid to tap in with us, let us know where y'all at. It's been a month. This is the last week of the month. We about to hit February. I'm holding through on my end. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm active. I'm here. You know, I'm checking boxes. So I hope y'all are too. But you know.
Hold on. You said that like.
Are you the only one? Let me turn it over here to Mr. Thompson.
I'm just saying, are you the only one that's checking boxes, or what's up?
I mean, that's why I just told them to tap in and let me know, cause I can't speak for nobody. I can only say what I'm doing. I'm checking boxes.
Okay.
So
that's it.
That's why. Hey, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Let them know. Are you checking boxes? Come
on now. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, we all know. And if you don't know, I'm checking them.
You took some pictures this month?
Yep.
You did?
Took some videos too.
Okay, just have it. We ain't seen them, so you know I had to, you know.
You'll see them. When did I say I was gonna put my booklet up?
I mean, how I'm supposed to know if you doing them every month? If you know.
You gonna know.
Yeah, at least gotta say it.
Every month. It was taken.
Hear you. Oh man. It's so obviously you dressed up, you went to church today. Let the folks know, you know, what the message was today so we can get rolling.
The message, man. The pastor, he was.
I took some notes too, but I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah. He bounced around a little bit today. Went to a few different books. Talked about some stuff that he talked about in the past, stuff in the future. But the main thing that he really, really wanted you to take away is trust the process. And we're all in a process. We're on a process up here, on Outside the Post. We're in a process in our life. We're in a process at your work. You're in a process, man. But you gotta trust it, man. You gotta God laid you out the steps. You gotta trust that He's gonna push you in the right way. It might not look the way that you want it to look. It might be a vastly different look than what you think it is supposed to look like. But what they say, you want to make God laugh? Tell Him your plans. Follow His word, trust the process, and that was the main thing that He really wanted you to get from His word today. And you might be in a process of your relationship, but whatever it is, trust it, follow through, don't give up on it, and eventually it's gonna come to fruition. And
yeah, absolutely. That was the message. That definitely was the message. Trusting the process. You definitely hit it right on the nose. I took away a few things. Something that really spoke out to me was he said you have to prove it. You have to go out there and prove it, but don't go out there trying to prove it to everyone else. Prove it to yourself.
Bingo.
Prove it to yourself. Go out there, go do it. Prove. You got to prove it to yourself. He, like you say, trust the process. It's not just a dream. It's not just a dream. You have to trust the process. So you turn them dreams into goals. Goals are just dreams with actions to them. So you have to trust the process in that. Hold on. Stay in the word. Like, your provision is going to come out of nowhere, Like he just said, if you want to make God laugh, tell Him your plans. And what he's really saying is, only God knows what's really destined for you. He has the plan for you. So whatever happens is going to happen on His timing. And, we all have these plans, and not everything in life really goes according to plans, whether that's making it to the gym in the morning or graduating school, getting a new job, whatever it may be. It may not happen on our timing. So, but just be prepared, because it may come out of nowhere. When you're not expecting it, it could come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I would say, shoot, I don't know anything that has happened in my life, good or bad, that has went the way that I thought it was in the very beginning. Because, in the process you might eventually see, like, all right, this is how it's going to turn out. But when you're in the very beginning, hey, I want to do this, this, and this. When you're in the very beginning, you might have a whole laid out plan of what you think it's going to be like. But then something happens and all of it changes. It might still happen. The end goal might still become the end goal. Maybe it's, let's say you wanted to build a house. The end goal, you might have built that house. But somewhere in the foundation or somewhere you putting up the sheetrock or something might have happened to make it turn a different way, and you still could end up in the same place, but it's just not the way that you thought it was going to be. And so don't get stuck on like the nuances and the little fine details. Mm-hmm. Yes, you want to pay attention to them, but don't let those hold you back from getting to the bigger goal.
Right.
Cool. You trying to get to the gym in the morning? Dang, my tire flat. All right, figure it out. Go to the gym later on, but the next day you get your tire fixed. Boom, get to it the next morning. It might not be exactly however you think it's gonna be. Just get to the end goal. What's the end goal? What do you want to get out of this? And
Yep, man. Don't look where it's coming from, man. And that's great message today. We gonna make that the theme for the show today, because there's a lot of events going on, and we can say the world today, but here in the United States, as everybody know, our new president was just sworn in here recently, and changes are immediately starting to happen. So we're gonna go over some things, talk about it, break it down a little bit. Give our opinions, our viewpoints on it, because that's really what a focal point of this show is for, is to share the opinions of those who are maybe undervalued or just unseen. Their opinion isn't really heard from a lot. So Well, we're gonna go over that a little bit. Talk about that, break it down. Before we get rolling, I'm gonna let Mr. Thompson here. You got anything? Tell the folks how you feeling today. Check in with us.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great. I'm blessed, highly favored, and just in good health. I'm down some pounds, and I wasn't even like. So I've been working on losing like a few pounds here and there, right? But I wasn't even in like one of my, because I go like through a hard like push of like I'm trying to drop 10 pounds real quick and then maintain, and then drop another 5 or something like. And I haven't even been in that. I just been grinding so much. I lost some weight along the way. You feel me? And because I wasn't even planning on stepping on the scale, but they had the scale at the house and everybody was stepping on it, whatever. And so I stepped on it. I said, "Oh, I ain't seen that weight in a while." Like, so I'm feeling good. Like I said, man, I'm blessed. Everything's coming together. The snow kind of put me forward, but also put me a little backwards in different areas. It kind of made me focus on some stuff that I wasn't really focusing on, but also it made me off track on something else that I was focusing on. But like we just said, tell God your plans, man, if you want to make them live. And yeah,
for sure, man. Yeah, same, man. I'm blessed. I don't have nothing to complain about. The snow didn't necessarily do much to me. I still had to get up and go to work, clock in, just as normal. Didn't get no breaks. But then again, I didn't get snow like y'all got snow. Y'all got snow for real. I just got some ice. Like, I had a little bit. I did get some snow, but it wasn't enough like y'all had. Y'all was covered. So
the most snow I've ever seen in Wilmington.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah. I just been working. I had a lot of people reach out to me, especially in regards to this podcast here. They're taking notice. They're tuning in, loving the feedback I'm getting. But it's really great to see everybody tap in with us and see what we got going on. So that's really good to hear. Tapped in with my fam, love them. Making sure everybody good. I'm trying to take my sis to this Lakers game on Monday, man. My Hornets just got a dub last night. So yeah, man, I'm good. I'm blessed. I can't complain. Glad to be here. Absolutely. So, all right, just had to check in with the folks, man. Let them know how we doing. They don't want to just come up here and be bland, man. They want to see what we got going on. They want to feel us for a sec, man. So I talked to them, let us feel us for a sec. So you got anything else before we roll into it?
Hey, man, your world, man. I'm in it. Let's go.
All right. So as I mentioned, this is probably the number one thing I would say has been, I guess, on my mind.
So we ain't gonna get no intro. My fault. Let me mute up. Let's go, man. Let's go. So what's been on your mind?
Number one thing that's been on my mind, we got a new president. So when a new president comes, there comes a lot of change. Change is expected, but what the change is and how it affects, I guess, everybody. Because the effects are different. Some people like the change. It changed for the better for them. Some people, it's been a drastic change. So I'm going to hit on a few points that I feel like have been the most drastic, in my opinion. So, President Donald J. Trump. He came in day one, making a lot of executive orders. They said about 78 off rip. Let's put pen to paper. So a big point was the increase in the deportation of, people who had visas or just undocumented citizens that were here. Even ending, well, he is attempting to. He's having some pushback, and it's been put on pause. But he's trying to end, birthright citizenships. And what that is just, if you are born on American soil, you are considered a U.S. citizen. He's trying to end that. So, and even if you were born on U.S. soil, you're the daughter or son of immigrants. He's trying to revoke that citizenship right. Of course, he's facing pushback, but the deportations have started. What's interesting, not only has these deportations took place in schools, churches, and workplaces.
Not just because you want to give the whole three, so I can get, because I don't actually know what he did. So like, let me think about the whole three while you. What was your other two?
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's just the first one. We'll start there. That's the first one. The removal of DEI, diversity, equality and inclusion in workplaces. So he got rid of that, which that one's really important to me because I don't think people understood the full effect. They think it just got black people jobs. Like, that was not the case. This DEI, affected everybody from people with disabilities, people who were pregnant. It included everybody, women. So it was really just, it affected a broader group of people than I think people really paid attention to. I think a lot of the focus is just black people when you hear about diversity, but diversity includes a whole lot of different groups. So there's been, especially with some of these big, more renowned companies that are well known, got a brand image such as like Target, for example. They've made statements how they're going to be cutting back on DEI. Even some instances, people have, already started losing their jobs because, I've heard one story where a lady, she was pregnant and she actually just had a job offer that she accepted. But after they passed this, the company rescinded the offer. And she was 2 weeks from moving states. I think she was in like Maryland or Virginia, somewhere up north, and was moving to Texas. They were 2 weeks out from moving and they rescinded the offer. And her husband is he's a veteran, but he's a disabled veteran, so he can't work. So it impacted them greatly. And I feel like that's, when you hear DEI, that's a minority group that doesn't really get a lot of attention to. One, you got a pregnant woman, and then you got a disabled veteran. So that's one of them. And I'm gonna head on, and then I guess birthright citizenship was my third one, so I did hit on that. So
all right, now you can go back to the first.
All right. So the deportations, right? What's really interesting about it, and the concern that I have, is that some of these countries, such as, I'm gonna use Colombia for example, because this was very recent. This just happened. They denied deportation flights, so they didn't allow the U.S. to just deport and send people back there. So it's not as easy as Trump just being like
that. That also has been going on though before. Like, so I don't want that just people to think that's just when they was doing that when Biden as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So with Colombia, they denied it. But first, I'm gonna stick on Colombia for a sec because I got a question. But they denied it, and then Trump, he had pushback and he put some tariffs on Colombia and stuff, and there's some tension right now. It's ongoing, so we're not going to break down the details too much until we get a little bit more facts. This is super recent. But what's interesting to me is those people who were being deported, obviously they're not just going to come back into the States and go back to their regular lives. So what is Trump going to do with them? We had these camps before where all these people were in these, they were in these internment camps, being held like prisoners. Are we going to refer back to that? Is that, where are these people going to go? Because for these people to be really pro-life, because that's the whole notion regarding the abortions. These people are pro-life. Is the health and quality of life of these people really the most important thing, or are we just going to keep them in these camps with poor qualities of life and unstable situations until he can, get them out of here? Um, Me personally, I think, like, for him to try to deport them and it got denied, he can't just send these people everywhere. If these people are here already, let's make this situation work. They've already been here. They had a situation. Obviously, a lot of these people are working because these ICE raids are happening at places of work. So, I mean, if they're just sitting around in the street or in the house or something, then they wouldn't really need the need to go to these places of work and schools and things of that nature. But, let the people who are here already kind of figure it out, get them back in a situation where, they work and contribute to the society instead of putting them and their families, like, if they're even with their family, because that's another thing. A lot of these people could have just been ripped away from their family. But just putting them in a situation where they can be contributions. And then for people who are trying to come in, like, okay, then you can enforce the law, But if they're already here and you're trying to go and ship them off, and you're doing more damage to them than you are good to the society, then that's not adding up to me. So, what do you think, man? What do you think about these deportations? These people that are being affected, the families, how it affects society. Just let us know your thoughts regarding that.
This is a complicated one because there's many different. Like, it's not just somebody came in and now they're being shipped out. Like, there's a lot of different factors that go into this. If somebody's asking me, do I agree with just going and snatching anybody that has ever came to this country illegally and sending them on their way? No, because I know people that have been in this country and they didn't come in here illegally and they ended up working, paying taxes, blase, blase. But now, if you're talking about people that have came in this country and let's say not paying taxes, are they benefiting our society at that point, or are they taken away from it? Because we hear a lot of, and this is just the money. We can get into the family and stuff part, but on the money side is we hear about stories of where people come to this country to send money back to other countries. So if they're taking money from in the United States, a job away from somebody that's in the United States, regardless if they're legal or illegal, taking a job away from somebody, not paying taxes on that for the school system, like everything that operates that the government is making us pay for, and sending it back to another country for their family back home or something like that. That's a different conversation. And I think the easy fix would be to make those, if those people are willing, like, you can either go back or you can pay taxes. You feel me? Like, and that's a situation. Then there's the criminal aspect. Yeah. Because there's been talks, because this has been going on for years now. Especially when Biden administration opened up the borders, some of these countries have been letting people out and sending people off, like Venezuela and like some of these other places. They talked about like a Venezuelan gang that is taking over apartment. Like, that part of it's like, yo, we got to get them up out of here. You feel me? Like, because and those were some, because that's I was talking about before. Like, the flights denying hasn't just happened. They were talking about this before, where they weren't allowing flights to go back to Venezuela with the people. Why are you not taking your people back? You know what I mean? Like, is it because you know some of these are criminals? I'm not saying they all are criminals, but do you know there's a group of criminals in there and you don't want to open up that situation where they got to come back into your society?
Right.
Or is there something else to it? So I think there's just so many aspects where it's just not cut and dry. Like, you will have to look at individuals and be like, what is this individual doing in the U.S.? Like, what is their contribution to society? What was their situation? Do they got family here and stuff? And then judge it based on that. I don't know what the situation is like with the Trump administration as far as what they're doing as far as vetting these people. Are they just taking everybody, or are they just taking some people? Like, what does that look like? I generally don't know. But yeah, like that for me, I will say you have to judge based on one, if they committing criminal acts. I say especially if you just came into America over the last few years, the last administration, I would say if you've been committing criminal acts, hey, you got to go. Like, why are you doing anything? First of all, you got in this country illegally, and then you came in here and doing illegal things, whatever that is. All right, you need to bounce. But if you're in this country, especially if you've been in this country for like past administration, all right, that should be a different, like, handled in a different way.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that, because there was a whole thing when I think it was like 2 years ago. It was the Chinese. They was on TikTok and they had a whole, like, you come in at this part of the border, do this, and then go. Like, they literally had instructions for people to come in. And that was for the Chinese. So we're not even talking about anybody in South America anymore. So people from all the way from China coming here and getting inside the country, that's a whole nother, because we was talking about DEI, and it's not just for black people. This ain't just for Southern American people.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a lot of different people. That there's Africans that have snuck in here. There's
Canadians.
Canadians. Like, there's a lot of people that have snuck into this country. So, yeah, it's a very, very complicated situation. Like, it's very complicated, and I know the news is going to paint it in a certain way, and Trump, he's going to talk it in a certain way as well. But the reality of the situation is, some places, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to just say one thing or another. I think there's some people that shouldn't be in this country, and I think there's some people that can contribute a lot to this country. And then there's a gray area in the middle that you will have to make a decision in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're actually doing to even say what is what. I know he's increased it, and and that's going to look away, especially when you're talking about the camps that they used to have.
Yeah.
I don't know if they should go back to the camps, but you got to figure out something. Like, either any way you look at it, there's going to be money that's going to be spent that we shouldn't have had to spend, because once again, the money is coming from taxpaying citizens.
Yeah.
So that's just money that we don't have to spend. It's going to have to be spent somewhere, whether it's flying people back, whether it's keeping people here and giving them assistance to help them. Because if you get them in our society, now you got to go through the courts and all of that. All of that stuff got to be paid for. The judges got to be paid for. The people that's doing all the paperwork and all that. Like, this is going to be an expensive process either way that you look at it. Or if you keep people in the camps and stuff, it's going to be an expensive process. You got to build the camps and all of this stuff. Have personnel to watch them. So any way you look at it, it's going to be expensive. And whatever they do, regardless of how you feel, I'd rather have them do it now, be done with it within a year, and then moving forward, operate however they want to operate as far as the border is concerned. But don't drag this part on like, we can't be doing this 4 years down the road.
And let's be clear, this didn't just start happening. Yes, the deportations, like, and the...
For sure.
I guess the sanctions he's putting on.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of kickback. You know, even during the election, one of the points of one of the argument points was people didn't like all the money that the Biden administration was using on funding undocumented citizens. So people coming in, getting free housing, they're getting a lot of government assistance, and they're not even U.S. citizens. So that stuck with a lot of American citizens, whether you're white, black, or whatever. That's just money talk. Yeah. Like from a money standpoint, it didn't sit right with a lot of people. They're paying taxes for somebody else to come and stay in the country. So yeah, let's get that clear. This isn't a new issue. This has been going on.
Been going on for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
It's. I feel like it's always a point of contention, as far as like when they get around the presidential conversations. Mm-hmm. But it got really big because of what they were doing at the last administration, of how openly it was. Like we talked about before, like you could visually see millions of people coming across the border.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing that. Like, I remember them talking about it, but I never remember seeing waves of people just coming across the border and them getting in the, I never seen that. So when you talk about, so this situation is going to be very loud because, like you said, part of the reason Trump is in office is because he said, hey, we're going to change this.
All right.
And that was what a lot of Americans seem to want it, obviously. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so yeah, this is a tricky situation. And like we were saying, we mentioned on one of the other podcasts, there's also the big corporations.
Yeah.
They use cheap labor, whether you realize it or not. There's factories, there's agricultural jobs, there's different jobs out here that they try to go and get cheap labor from illegal immigrants, and boom.
And whether it's here on U.S. soil or not, they're just going to offshore it if it can't be here. I'm going to be real. It's not going to stop that. Yep. That's not going to change. Them getting that cheap labor is not going to change. It's just a matter of where it's coming from.
Yep.
So that's it's an important ongoing development we're seeing right now. Really want to put emphasis that it is not just a black and white thing. This is an American citizen thing. Like we saw groups like Latinos for Trump. One of their points for being with Trump is they did not like a lot of people coming across the border because it gave them competition. It made it harder for them. So
because you gotta think, and it's not to cut you off, but it's not just like people don't like stereotypes, but a lot of those Latinos and stuff, they own like a lot of them that been here a long time, they own construction companies, they own landscaping companies. What is a lot of them gonna come over here and try to do? If you illegal, if you don't have any documents, there's only so many things you can do.
Yep.
So then you telling me I done been here for so long, got my papers or whatever the situation is, and you telling me they can just come over here and hey.
Nah.
It's tough.
It is. Most definitely. So that's something we'll keep an eye on, through the next few weeks, months, because I'm sure this is just getting started as far as these stories we're hearing. There's going to be some developments we'll hit on. So,
and the next one, what'd you say? The
DEI, diversity, equality, and inclusion.
I thought you said one before that. It was
birthright citizenship.
Birthrights. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one's intriguing to me because that's just if you born here on U.S. soil.
I don't think that's gonna get passed.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. I don't even think we gotta waste too much time because the whole Constitution.
Exactly.
If you look in the Constitution, it's gonna be very hard for a president can't just overwrite the Constitution.
Exactly.
It has to go through all the branches of the government.
Yeah. And
that's not going to happen where a person born on U.S. soil doesn't get their citizenship. So that's just a talking point that he's using to. Because right now he just got in office, he's gonna be trying to say the most outlandish things to get his people riled up and just whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I will be very, 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 very shocked if they change a person born in the United States does not get U.S. citizenship.
Yeah,
be very shocked.
It is crazy, especially. This isn't even something his whole administration agrees on. Like, his vice president does not agree about the removal of birthright citizenship. That is something. That's why he just tried to do the executive order, because the vice president wants more American babies. Like,
we need them.
Exactly.
That's a conversation we can hit on, maybe another time. But
yeah, exactly.
We're not having enough babies to replace ourselves.
Exactly. So removing that birthright citizenship just makes it that much harder to really have that. So yeah, I just want to. That was,
and to keep it a buck, a lot of them Latinos and people from Africans and whatever, they be out working y'all daggone motherfuckers. So if we can get some of them as U.S. citizens, let's keep them around.
Yeah,
let's keep them around.
Especially for those jobs nobody wants to do, especially like skilled trades and stuff.
And that's becoming more and more too. Like,
right.
More and more jobs like people just don't want to do, and it's like, get off your butt. Like, people complain too much, man. Like, it's just a constant, this and this. Even with some of the Trump stuff, like, okay, he's in office, regardless if you like it or not. How about you utilize some of the things that he's going to be doing for some of his buddies as business owners and stuff? How about you figure something out to try to get yourself ahead of it? You know what I mean? Or utilize some of the things that he's going to be doing that could benefit yourself. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's going to do things that you don't like. Every president does something that you don't like. Every single one. You can go down the line. There's been something that somebody did that you did not like when they got in office. They all sign executive orders. They all do crap. What are they doing that you could utilize to further you and your community? Mm-hmm. And utilize that and push yourself forward. Because us sitting around complaining about all of this stuff is not going to do anything for us. We're going to complain for 4 years, and then you might not even get somebody you want in office the next 4.
Exactly.
So what, you going to complain for 4 more?
It's wasted energy.
And then 4 more, and then 4 more, and then setting yourself up. All right, by the end of this, we're going to be in a better situation than what we was when we first got in, and now we might be able to make a bigger impact on what's going on because we're in a better and more influential situation. You know what I mean? So
yeah, most definitely. And like he mentioned, like, it's not a lot of these people come, especially you talk about Africans and these Latinos, they come over here and they work. They come over here and work. They build legacies, especially like think about Africans, well, and Latinos, they come from their country, they leave family behind, so it's really just them. It's whatever they come with. Like, that's literally all they got, and they start from nothing.
Well, I got a real life situation. My boy Louis, and he got like some Arabs, so it's usually a group of them, but they came over here when they was younger. Bro, my boy Louis got the gas station. Mm-hmm. Up the road. When you get a receipt, it say Louis gas station on the thing.
Yep.
You feel me? And they got other stores. Like, some of his cousins got other stores. And it's like, they didn't have a whole lot. They just stayed. This is literally what they did. They came over here. They all crammed in one house, stacked their bread, and now they got multiple stores. They spent their money. They was all working out of one store. Then they saved that money up, bought another store. Then they saved it up, bought another store. Y'all niggas ain't even willing to bunk it up with somebody.
Exactly.
What are we talking about, man? They literally came in, and we're the same age, and him and his cousins got stores now.
Mm-hmm.
So man, go to work.
That's it, man. Which brings us to our next one of this diversity, equality, and inclusion. There's been a lot of public outrage regarding this, because there's been companies who have made public statements saying they're going to kick back on that. Like they're going to cut back on these DEI hires. But then there's also been companies who are like, no, like we're going to stand regardless what the law says. Like we're going to make diversity, equality, and inclusion a focal point. So like Costco was my example because Costco's been solid in a lot of different aspects, from keeping their food prices down, keeping that hot dog and pizza to $1 or $2, to things like this. DEI, and Costco has like great benefits for their employees. Like you get things from stocks to great healthcare and medical benefits. So Costco takes care of their people. So with the removal of diversity, equality, and inclusion, I just feel like it affects more groups in different areas who typically wouldn't get these opportunities, because now they're going to have to play the networking game, and it's about who you know and where you can get opportunities. It's not necessarily who's the best involved, who's the best candidate. Not to say that every place is like that, because I feel like in a lot of places, like if you're a strong candidate, you're a strong candidate. Like I know some places have DEI hires and stuff like that, but if you can do the work, your work will speak for itself. So, what you think? How you think this will affect? One, how will it affect the people as far as the workers? And then on a societal level, how will it affect the economy as far as, money flowing throughout from the business to the community to the people, the cycle? Like, what do you think of DEI?
DEI, I'm not one. Okay, so let me preface this by saying the way DEI has been in practice, I'm not necessarily a fan of. Like the just hiring somebody based on something that doesn't have anything to do with the job. The DEI I'm more in that I will want more of is DEI of thought process. So you've been through you came up from this different background. You might have a different perspective on this, but you're also good at the job. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So I'm not just hiring you based on because you're from this background, and I'm gonna just bring you on because you check a box. I'm gonna bring you on because you from a different background or you had a different experience but you can also do the job. So if you look like a lot of jobs like to hire former athletes, because especially when you're talking about professional or collegiate, because of the work ethic and the things that they went through to be an athlete of that caliber, and jobs like to hire those people because of what they can bring to a workplace. Companies like to hire former military. Why? Because of the things that they've been through and the structure and the discipline that they have that can bring to a workplace. That is the type of hires I think. If it was more of that, DEI wouldn't be a problem with some of these companies. And I'm not backing any of these companies, that are saying, all right, yeah, we dumb it, whatever. I think those are going to be figured out anyway, because one, the cream is going to rise to the top, and I truly believe that. So regardless of what you look like, who you are, whatever the situation is, if you're quality, somebody's going to hire you. I truly believe that. I don't think there's going to be just this influx of talent, of talented people in whatever, whether you're an engineer, doctor, nurse, whatever it is that you do. If you are a quality worker and you can show your value, I believe that you're going to be able to get a job. I truly do. I think what is going to affect the most is people that, like we were just talking about, There's some of y'all that don't like to work a lot. If I'm a company and I don't have to hire somebody because of such and such, and you have not been working a lot, or you're the first person out the office, or last person in the office, whatever that case may be. If I'm a business owner, shoot, I'm gonna be like, yeah, we can get rid of that person. Not saying that we won't hire another person that looks just like them or is in the same situation though. But I'm probably gonna get rid of that person because they ain't even doing their job right now. To the level that I think that we can get. And that's the real conversation. And now will some of the companies, I found it hard to believe that majority of companies is just gonna stop hiring a multitude of different people. I find that hard to believe, but
I think what you miss with DEI, because you mentioned that you weren't a fan because you feel like it hires people that has nothing to do with the job. But businesses have been doing that since the start. Like, that was the whole point of DEI, because they give these opportunities to people like them. I don't
think it's like them though. I think it's people that they're cool with. Like, so for instance, if I had a business, I would hire you just because I know you and I feel that I can get you training and the stuff that do the job. I would do that.
And people they're cool with.
I understand that.
Well, we can say people are cool with, but I mean, the people they're cool with have a lot of the same features and characteristics of
for sure, and you have some of the same features and character. My thing is, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that premise. I just don't think that DEI has changed it. I don't think DEI has changed that, and I don't think DEI getting rid of DEI is going to change that either.
You don't think it's changed? You don't think like DEI has gave people opportunities that wouldn't have gotten an opportunity without it?
Yes, but I don't think those were necessary. So once again, like, I believe people that wanted to hire somebody is going to hire somebody regardless. If somebody wanted to hire you at a certain job and they knew you and they wanted to make sure you get that job, regardless of whatever is going on, you're getting a job, whatever that job is, with DI or without DI. I also think, yes, have some people gotten opportunities at a job that wouldn't have? Sure. Has majority of those people that have gotten opportunity at a job was the best candidate for the job? No. I don't. I think some of them might have ended up being that, and I think there's a large study that we could probably do on that. But I think there's also people that got in the job because they filled in a checkbox that ain't had no business being there. And I think that's the issue, because there are people that fill in the checkbox, but is also great at the job and do their job and is on time and does things. And I think there's also people that just, all right, boom, I got this job because I knew that they needed this person, and I'm just gonna go away. But more so, like, where I want to focus more so, but and this can't cover the entire United States, but if I go back to the Louis situation, he hires his people. He goes in there, hires whoever the freak he wants to hire. You know what I mean? His family or his friends or whatever. Get off of your behind and go do something and put people in positions that you want to put in position. Now, obviously, you can't do that across all of America. But, and this goes into a bigger conversation that we've had bits and pieces of. There's big companies that control too much. If we had more local businesses, this DEI thing wouldn't matter as much. But when you raise the minimum wage to 25, you lose a lot of moms and pops. They can't afford to hire these people.
The minimum wage is $7.25 where we're at, by the way. So it's not.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, we're not talking about here. But in other places, it's $20. It's $15. Like, and I understand. All right, cool. You gotta have you gotta be able to sustain that living. But now they gotta go and get a job at Target, and Target say, all right, bump me on there. But the mom and pop ain't gonna do that. I got C Street. That's right up the street. If you know where C Street, the little Mexican grill place. It's been the same people that's been working in there. They got hired from across the street at the high school. They've been in there for years, and they got a job. And then they got it's literally a family run type business. You feel me? If we have more of those, that could fix a lot of the issues that is going on. But when all these bills and policies that's getting passed, they're causing us to lose a lot of that. Like, this country was built on local businesses, not massive corporations. So we're talking about Target and stuff. Boom, go to the local grocery store. We talking or the local, whatever the local spot is. Now it's getting harder and harder, especially in the bigger the city, because they're getting bought up, and the rent at some of these places is crazy high. It's getting tougher, but try to spend more money local. We talking about having money circulating in the community. Spend more money local. Make sure these places can stay open and operate. Don't go to Chipotle. Go to C Street. You feel me? Like that. They serve the same thing. It's these little things that you can do in your everyday life to support it. If Target say they ain't doing DI, don't go buy from Target no more. If million people stop spending money at Target today, 1 million. We got, how many people we got in this country? 360 million or something? Not all of them spend money at Target, but if 1 million of those people, ain't a lot compared to the numbers that we talking about, that's what, 0.3% or something? 1 million of them stop spending money. No more. I know a bunch of people that spend money at Target. Y'all stop spending your $500 to $1,000 every single year. Watch what they do. That's $1 billion off of they revenue. You don't think they might make a change? they see $1 billion change once they make that comment. So don't complain about it. Just, hey, all right, y'all say y'all ain't gonna do that no more, or y'all doing some shady stuff. All right, we ain't gonna do that. We gonna shop at Costco though. Costco gonna get our money. They stock gonna go up. You feel me? Or whatever the company is. But don't beat us over the head with the, we need to save these jobs. No, just support the jobs that's doing it. Support the local businesses that's going to hire the people. Support the companies, the big companies that are going to support whatever that you're going for. If it's DI, support them. Don't spend your money with them. You got a lot of power in your money. All these companies care about is money at the end of the day. And they don't care about you. They care about the money.
That's what Reverend Al Sharpton hit on today. He led a protest. He said that's what he said. He said, "Don't spend money where you won't be hired."
Hey, simple as that.
So, just want to be clear: you do not like diversity, equality, and inclusion. Okay, just want to make a note of that. Keeve.
No, don't.
Does not. DEI, okay.
I don't think DEI in the sense of just hiring somebody just to hire them is the answer. I think hiring somebody that also has the things that you want. So if I want somebody that is going to be able to show up on time and stay late if I need them to, and got the skills to do the job. If I have 3 candidates, one's a white dude, one's a black woman, one's a pregnant woman, whatever the situation is, I should be able to hire any of those 3 regardless of the situation. Maybe I hire all 3. But I'm not going to have to. Don't tell me I got to hire somebody that doesn't have the skill set or doesn't have the work ethic based on their past performances at their other jobs because they look like something or they have a certain situation. That's where I disagree at. Like, you got to have everything that everybody else has, and without having less than everybody else has, but just getting the job because of.
Well, what about that man who's been with the company for 15 years and he has all the qualifications. He's got the education.
I don't think he should be fired. So if you ask me, should he be fired? No.
No, not that he should be. Not that he should be fired. But what if he, he's trying to get into? I'm just going to use the banking system. What if he's trying to get in the C-suite? You know, he's been in the company 15 years. He's got his master's. He's worked his ground up. He's been with the company. So he started and he's been with the company 15 years. And, you know, the opening comes available that he's more than qualified for. And, you know, the higher ups bring in an outside source that they're just connected with because it's somebody that, you know, they can't have jurisdiction over.
Switch companies, man.
It's that simple.
I don't think it's that simple, but if you felt, we know somebody personally that it wasn't a C-suite type situation, but they got passed on a job that they felt that they deserved. Well, they did deserve based on their performance and everything else, and they left that all together and said, "F y'all," and I'm gone. He cuts hair.
Yeah. And you know, like that was some, you know, what's it called? That was more. It wasn't DEI issue.
It was the opposite of DEI issue.
Basically, it was a morality issue. It was definitely a morality issue for sure.
It was. Sure. We don't want you in this certain situation.
Because that situation had more to do with that was an abuse of power situation. Somebody who was in a position of power was trying to strong hand someone into doing something that was not logical or fair.
Yeah, but it goes deeper than that because they didn't want him in that situation before. They gave somebody else one of the other jobs that he deserved before that. So this ain't like a new situation just because of that one small detail. This has been going on, and he's openly talking about it too. Like, hey, they've been trying to, you feel me? This ain't new.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, these people, like, there's going to be certain people that hire whoever they want, regardless. And that was before all of this stuff came on, when they was doing them dirty.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can do, similar to the way he did, hey, get people around you to back you up. Look how loud it got.
Mm-hmm.
Now people look at that situation differently.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Boom. And if they don't change, then I don't want nothing to do with you anyway. You feel me? And that's where you gotta draw. You gotta draw the line in the sand somewhere.
And we're gonna add insight on that because I think that is an issue we should make our viewers.
Well, I don't want to go too deep because that ain't either one of our situations, but it is public information. But you know, like it is.
You know. We could tell the story. Just tell the story so they know, because they could go Google. I'm just gonna tell them to Google it. They can go and Google, and they can find the story and form their own opinion.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, you know, at Topsail High School, Melvin London Jr., Coach June, he was released of his duties over a situation regarding a bus. So basically, Coach June was the men's varsity basketball coach at Topsail High. He cut hair in the community. You know, he has his own barbershop. Been a well-renowned member of the community for a long time.
A staple. He's a staple, man. Just
literally the epitome.
Yeah.
Like, and in the record books at Topsail High School. So it's not like this is some outside random. This is a guy born and raised in the community. He knows what it's all about. You know, a new superintendent, or it was a new principal, came in. Mm-hmm. And they were having some bus issues, and basically they tried to make Coach June, who had his bus. He's been driving the same bus for a long time. They tried to make him switch onto a bus that had been having known mechanical issues and give him a longer route, you know, which conflicted with his schedule, of course, as you can imagine, as being the owner of a barbershop. driving buses for the kids at the school
and coaching
and being the men's varsity basketball head coach. So like you can only imagine like the difficulty with that. And there was no conversation about finding a resolution. It was, if you're not going to do it, then you're fired. And that was it.
And that's on top of before he was the JV football head coach as well. He was coaching JV basketball and JV football. He should have got the varsity football job. They gave it to somebody outside. Some I ain't gonna talk back. Some other guy that was not in the community, that's not from the community.
I definitely had some allegations against him, by the way. Let's go ahead and start. I had allegations of point shaving in high school football against him. I had to put that out there, you know.
And you don't give it to the guy that's been building your JV football program up and having the guys ready to perform on the varsity level years after years. You give it to somebody from outside the community. Then, so he backs away from that. Then he focuses on basketball. He gets the varsity basketball coach that had issues that went along with that as well, of wanting to give him that. They try to give it to other people. He got that, and then this pops up. It's like repeated situation after situation after situation.
And it's not even just saying that he should be the coach just because he's from the area.
He's winning.
Like, he was winning.
He's winning. Go to his barbershop. Y'all go to his barbershop. You can see all the trophies, all the championships on the wall. He was a winner.
Ask those players. Those players will tell you, you know, they wanted him. You know, because they knew there would be a point in time where they had to go and get coached by somebody else, and they always wanted Coach June because he was getting the best out of them, not only on the court or on the field, but just as growing as men. You know, that's what you want as a coach in a crucial stage of, you know, a young male's life.
Yeah, man.
But y'all can go Google. It's on WWAY, you know, WECT. There's a lot of stories going out. There are petitions being signed. So I'll let y'all go read into it, form your own opinions, of course. But we just wanted to let y'all know what was going on there.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like my thing with the to close this out is like the DI situation. It's not that I don't like DUI. It's just like that situation. That's a good DEI situation. A man from the community, a man that has it might not look like majority of the people that work at that school, that has the resume, has the stuff that you want. He should be the one getting the job. But instead, you like that's the type of DEI that I like, versus just giving somebody a job because their name is John Brown or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's what I don't like. And,
we hear you.
And just drawing the distinction in what I'm talking about.
We hear you. We hear you, Kev. So I'm gonna put a sub note under my note here.
Okay.
But yeah, this DEI. It'll affect everywhere from the workplace, the colleges, the universities, to everywhere. So we'll see how that takes place, how things shape up. I think in a lot of different groups, I feel like some groups it's not about just if they're qualified or not. I definitely feel like it is more what they come with. For example, pregnant women, I do feel like there's a lot of disparity against them because no company wants to be liable for a pregnant woman. Like there's a lot of laws that come along with that, and it's really sensitive. It's just, I guess it's just a company views it as a red flag, whereas just ensuring that it's a safe environment for them to work in.
I agree that there's just looking at it from a perspective. Yeah, there's going to be people that or companies that look at pregnant women as like, dang, I don't want to take that on. I think they was doing that before as well. Like, like a lot of this stuff that people think is gonna happen with D, I feel like a lot of it was happening anyway. Yeah, like yes, there were some people getting jobs, but I don't think majority. I think a lot of people is getting jobs because based off of their merit. I think majority of people. I think you got the job that you got based off of your merit. I think other people's get the job based off of their merit. Now, will there be some people affected? Yes, obviously, but I don't think majority of people is going to be affected that have the merit as well. Like I think there's a lot of people that are just coasting through, and I don't even think that majority of them is going to be affected directly by DEI. I think majority of them are going to be affected by other things, whether it's AI, whether it's the machines that is being put in all these. That's getting rid of, like, they talk about the Amazon warehouses where they got the robots doing all the, like, there's going to be other things that affect a lot of these jobs regardless.
Yeah.
And then the government just talked about how they had a miscalculation on how many real jobs it was actually implemented versus what their number is that they said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's going to be there's going to be a massive, because we was actually talking about this before all of this came up. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to be in some tough situations coming up.
Yeah, for sure.
And this was before the DEI. You can go back and look at some of the old party. Like, if you haven't noticed what's been going on, I hope you start noticing and get on your stuff. Like, you can't sit around waiting on Uncle Sam to save you, because he ain't.
You don't want to wait on that. Y'all don't want to be relying on Uncle Sam.
No.
Just trust the process, man. You gotta go and get it on your own. See the dream.
That's it. And when I build me a massive company, trust me, I'm coming to get my folks. So don't worry about it. Like, we coming. You feel me? We coming.
For sure, man. Hey, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share. We appreciate all the love and support. Thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 7 here. You know, we about to tune in some playoff football, man. I'm going to let Keeve, you got anything for the folks, man, to wrap us up?
Oh, I want to hit one more thing before we wrap up. And then we can wrap up. So this is, and we can probably talk about this, but the revenue sharing in college football, that's going to, their decision is going to be made on like April 7th, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to have some massive implications.
Absolutely.
We talking about the DEI people losing jobs. It's going to be a lot of athletes that lose scholarships.
Yeah.
A lot of high school athletes that's not going to get scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
Which goes into a lot of athletes that's not going to get a college education.
Yep.
Like, so, which then they're not going to get the job that they was going to get before.
Yep.
Which is a trickle-down effect. So, you know, the revenue sharing, if you're not familiar, is there's going to be some amount that they're going to make a decision on. There's been rumors of $20 million or whatever it is that's going to go to the different sports to pay the players in however they want to break it down. But it's going to be a set amount that they can get. And now they're also setting, like in football, it used to be 85 scholarships, but you can have as many walk-ons as whatever. And there's tons of walk-ons that have came and are in the NFL now.
Yeah.
So they got rid of the walk-ons, and now there's only 105 scholarships, point blank period, in college football. And then they're going to, I know in track, they said they're going to decrease the amount of track athletes that you have on each roster. And shoot, some programs might even just wipe away, like as far as the track programs or their lacrosse programs, or, you know, maybe even some baseball like there's going to be the programs that don't make money are going to be on the chopping block moving forward. So like we're talking about all this other stuff, like that is one, going to rid athletes of opportunities.
Yeah.
Two, that's going to rid them of education.
Mm-hmm.
And and what effects that have in the long term, we are yet to see. And then they also made a decision, which is kind of just an add-on to that, the decision that JUCO players can now, whatever they did in JUCO, whether it's 1 or 2 years, now doesn't count, so they have 4 more years. So what that does for people that aren't familiar, you're supposed to have 4 years in college. And while we're on it, they just talked about they might extend it to 5 years in college. But let's assume that it stays at 4 years. You have 4 years of eligibility plus a red shirt. Yeah. And sometimes an injury. If you get injured, you can have a medical red shirt as well. But you have 4 years plus a red shirt. So imagine if now you got 2 years of JUCO, a red shirt, and 4 years. So now you're talking about a player being in college for 7 years at bare minimum.
Yeah.
Think about the effect that has on college recruiting. I mean, high school recruiting. Because why go get a high schooler if you can go get in any sport, go get a JUCO player that has already been proven for 2 years?
Well, what's going to turn out is they're only going to get them top high school prospects.
That's it. Only the top is going to go.
You're not 5 or 4, JUCO.
And even the 4 stars are going to have a shorter list that they can choose from.
Yeah. They'll probably have to go not to the biggest programs. They'll probably have to start choosing like UNC Charlotte will end up getting some 4 stars.
Yep. And then you got the transfer portal as well.
Mm-hmm.
So now the top players that's coming from these other schools, they're in the mix as well. So why would we ever choose a high school?
Right.
Y'all are the last that we're going to choose from because you're not proven.
Yeah.
Unless you're just a freak athlete or a freak talent, any sport. So that is going to have a massive effect on college sports all around.
Mm-hmm.
All around. And it's just going to look, because I was just having a conversation with a kid that he's trying to go to college right now. It was probably like 2 months ago. And I told him, I was like, man, listen, get somewhere that they got where they can see a future for you, show and prove, and if later on if you feel like you can go and show on another stage or a higher level, then go do that. But it's gonna be tough right now to get recruited as a high schooler because there's just so many other options, and the revenue sharing is going to make it more difficult. It's like, am I going to really pay this to a high schooler when I can go pay this to somebody that's proven? And so everybody's running around talking about DEI. Think about what the future holds of that. Think about all these communities that we're talking about, of how many athletes get an education based off of their play, and what that's going to look like now. And if they can't get a scholarship, what is the next option? You're gonna get student loans. You're gonna pay what it's gonna cost. Inflation is the schools inflating too. Like the cost of schools ain't getting cheaper.
Not at all.
So in these conversations, you need to add all of this stuff up. Which is why, like, I'm not for the government involvement in a lot of things. Like, I'm not that type of person because they do things like this.
Mm-hmm.
That, like this was court rulings that have gotten this. It was bad leadership by the NCAA, number one.
Yeah.
Which led to court rulings, which led to situation that we're gonna be in now, of where less athletes get opportunities because of and yeah, that's I just want to add that in because it kind of goes in with some of the stuff that we're talking about. It's like talking about jobs in the future and that type of stuff. It's like, shoot, there's so many kids that we were just talking about jobs like hiring like collegiate athletes or professional athletes or people in the military. Well, shoot, they say the military numbers is down. The college numbers is about to be down. Like, it's gonna be tough out here. I'm telling you. So prepare yourself. Open up a book. Learn something. And go execute. Because it's going to get scary out here. It's going to get scary. That's it. That's all I gotta say, man.
It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out because everybody can't go to the league, man. Everybody cannot go to the league.
Most can't.
So, yeah, and that's just the big leagues. Like, if you really love it, you could go play overseas or somewhere. Like, a lot of these people, they go to these smaller schools and do that anyway. Like, if they really
even in that, like, it ain't most people.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, even with the overseas, like,
exactly.
That's still a handful.
Because it is professional. You got to remember, it is professional. So, yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see just how it all plays out, man. No doubt. No doubt. It's been a day, man. Yeah, good one. We talked about some good topics. I got some topics, but I'm going to save this for Wednesday, man. When we get on Wednesday, I'm gonna hit on this other one because it's what we talked about today. It don't really fit into that genre. So
I got you.
we're gonna save it for another day, man. Hey, man, y'all keep it going. I'll trust the process. Make sure y'all working out here. Make sure them resolutions y'all set forth, y'all progressing on. You know, make sure, man, you have a little horsepower to you. See, I got my polo on today. Have some horsepower to you, you know. Like, so that's it, man. Just want to shout out everybody tuned in. Shout out the fam. Shout out Woodside, man. Love y'all. Appreciate it, man. Wrap us out, Key.
Hey, man. That's it, man. Shout out to everybody. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram. Leave a like. And yeah, man, that's it, man. We appreciate all of y'all, every listener, everybody that's however you're watching, man. I appreciate you. And yeah, man, stay blessed. Stay prayed up. Outwork the competition in whatever way that looks like for you. Get smarter than the competition. Take the extra time to learn that extra skill that will take your skill level up to the next one. You know what I mean? Let's elevate. Let's all just elevate. Whatever aspect in life that looks like for you, elevate, man. Work out. Go hit the gym. And don't feel like you gotta hit it 6 days a week. Start with 2. Start with 2 days a week. Go there 2 days a week. When you get comfortable doing it 2 days a week, add another one.
Mm-hmm.
Build up to it. You ain't gotta run the Olympics tomorrow. You don't. Shoot, the Olympics ain't for 4 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's build up to it. Let's keep working. Let's learn something. You know. And that's it, man. We gonna check out and we gonna see y'all next week.
Peace.